Hey y'all, it's Zoe here, your nutrition peer, back here at Nutrition Prep Notes with another prep note for you. And in today's prep note, I'll be talking with you about how to use the month of July to prepare for the CNS exam. So stay tuned. Hey y'all, thanks so much for being here. I'm so excited to be speaking with you this month about how to use July to prepare for the CNS exam. And the main thing I really want to tell you is that July is a month to reset. It's a summer month. It's a month of transition. And I want to encourage you to really enjoy your summertime. Some of you may have just taken your CNS exam in June. Congratulations to you on accomplishing this major milestone. So if you're here and you've already just took your exam in June, congratulations. Please leave us a comment so we can celebrate you in the comments. And if you have just graduated from your education program this summer, or you're preparing to graduate soon, congratulations to you as well. Thanks so much for being here, and I hope that this video will be able to provide you some direction on how to use this month to prepare for the next upcoming CNS exam, which will be in December. So, if you are here and you're preparing for the CNS exam in December, you are way ahead of the curve. You are way ahead. And so this is a great place to be when you're looking to prepare and get organized to sit for the exam. And definitely putting you ahead. If you've listened to my story of I passed the CNS exam parts 1 and 2, then you'll know that I prepared and studied for the CNS exam within 4 months. That included doing my application as well. So I kind of took the exam prep process on a whim and kind of just went for it. And so I'm here sharing some of my experiences and tips with you all so that way you can streamline your approach so you're not having to go through some of the hurdles that I went through in preparing. So this month is the month to really reset and get yourself organized for the journey ahead. So now's a good time to start looking at whether or not you have all of the materials you need to apply. So the first thing is making sure that you're eligible to sit for the exam. Now the way that you can do that is by taking a look at your transcript and then comparing your courses to the courses that the ANA has on their website. So if you go to the ana.org, there's a tab that says Certify. And when you go there, click on the page that says Become a CNS. And on there, you'll find some requirements. And so take a look at that to make sure that you're meeting those requirements. And then as it relates to the education requirements, they do list specific courses that they would like for you to have taken before sitting for the exam. And to get the most detail on making sure that you have your application together and that you're organized during the entire certification process, is to grab a copy of the most current BCNS Certifications Handbook. I got the office supply place to bind it up for me and print it out for me. I downloaded the PDF version from the ana.org website, and I'll link a version, the most current version, in the description box below, so that way you can make sure to grab a copy of that. But I like mine printed so I could highlight and take notes. But this is the most comprehensive handbook in making sure that you are organized as it relates to the entire certification process and not just the exam or applying. So I highly recommend that during this month that you take some time to just read that from cover to cover so that way you can organize yourself for the journey ahead. So the ana.org website and the Certifications Handbook are great places to start this month, just to begin getting your feet wet and easing into the CNS exam prep process. Now's a great time to reach out to recommenders as well. And so, what you want to do is make sure you find people who can vouch for your professionalism and aptitude to be a great nutrition professional. And I share lots of details about the application process and how to streamline your approach to that in a video I have dedicated to that called CNS Exam Application Tips. So I highly recommend that y'all check that out. Take a listen to that one. It's podcast style. You can listen to that while you're perusing the ANA website, downloading your copy of the handbook after watching this video. So highly recommend that to you. So that way you can just start easing into the application process. The next thing I want to encourage you to do as it relates to getting organized is to start thinking about how you want to go about studying for the CNS exam. And I know that can be, this is a pretty broad statement because it's like, where do you start if you really don't know anything about the test? So the first place is reading the handbook will kind of give you a gist of how the exam's created. It's created via a job analysis study of current CNSs. And so the CNS exam is not a typical standardized type exam. It's a relevant exam that really tests you on application and, are you able to perform these competencies in practice once you become a CNS? And so that's really what it's assessing and looking at. Are you able to perform these competencies, and do you possess the knowledge to be able to conduct a proper nutrition assessment and really utilize these nutrition fundamentals in the practice of nutrition care? And so that is really the basis. That's a simple way that I can kind of define the exam. And so start thinking about how you want to study, how you learn best, and start gathering your materials that you think you would like to use to study for the exam. Now's a great time to get yourself a copy of the CNS exam outline. This is mine with a coffee stain on it, and it's annotated. And so the exam content outline for the most current exam, this is the exam outline that I utilized when I studied for my exam, and it'll be the same for you all if you are testing in the years 2024 to 2028. So this is listed at the back of the BCNS handbook. And I like the way that they have it listed there versus their website because it's really big on the website. And then when you go to print that off, it's really large. But this one, in my opinion, is a little bit more organized and succinct and better for just having on hand next to you as you study. So that's what I would do next in this month. So the first thing we said was taking a gander at the ANA.org website, looking at the Certify tab, making sure that you meet the eligibility requirements to apply for the exam, reading through the BCNS certifications handbook, and then start looking at the application process and gather the materials you need for that. Watch my video on CNS exam application tips because that's going to help you a ton. And then also grab you a copy of the CNS exam content outline and start thinking about how you want to prepare for the exam. What materials will you need? If you're a visual learner, if you are an auditory learner, if you do well with really applying things, think about how you would like to go about studying for the exam. And all of the videos on this Prep Notes playlist really can help you prepare. So this month, while you're on the beach, while you're traveling, and on your vacations, definitely take a listen through the videos on this playlist so you can start getting your game plan together on how you want to approach the exam. And another tip that I have for you is to take a look at my personal blueprint to the CNS exam. It's called Strategies for Success Pro, and inside of my personal blueprint, I detail all of the resources I use to study for the exam. So books, helpful resources that I use to prepare for the exam. I also share with you practice questions, where I got practice questions, and where you can find all resources and practice questions low cost or free. And I tell you in detail how to utilize these resources and the order in which I would approach utilizing these resources to really streamline your approach to exam prep. Now, this month, I do not recommend trying to heavy hit and dive into content because, in my experience and from a peer's point of view, and I really recommend that you dedicate a solid three to 4 months to studying for this exam. But at this point, 6 months out, I don't recommend that you start trying to heavy hit into the content. Really take time to get organized so that way by the time you are really getting into your content, you have a game plan in place and you're not having to scramble to get that together. And so a good 3 to 4 months is what I recommend to study for this exam. And in the course, I do give you a 2-month and a 3-month study plan. And so definitely take a look at that. And take a look at that if you're interested in investing in that resource. And in there as well, I give you like how to plan out your study days, organization tips, and a step-by-step blueprint on how to approach the domains and additional articles that will help to increase your understanding of content in the domains. So it's a really great resource that I highly recommend you all look into, because when it comes to this exam, what you'll find is that it's really valuable to have a resource that can give you some directionality and streamline your approach to the exam so you're not all over the place trying to figure out, do I need to know this? Do I need to know that? And my blueprint helps to give you more insight into what you really need to know for the exam. So definitely take a look at that, y'all. Let me know if you have any questions. I also have a free resource library that shares some information in there to help you get organized for the exam as well. This is an exciting journey, but it can get overwhelming if you're not sure how to organize yourself and what all you need to know. And so that course really puts it all in there for you. And so I highly recommend Strategies for Success Pro. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. And definitely keep watching and keeping up with the videos I post here, because I regularly post tips on how to prepare for the CNS exam as well. And so that's pretty much July in a nutshell, y'all. Use July as a reset month and the month to get organized as you prepare for the CNS exam. Stay tuned to the checklist at the end of this video, and remember, it's time to prep like you mean it. I'll meet y'all back here next time, and we're going to be talking about how to approach multiple choice questions on the CNS exam. Y'all take care.